I think that today I want to do a little bit more of an intellectual analysis. And I want to do a little bit more of a historical analysis. I want us to go all the way back to 1998. It's important that when some of these issues come up, that we contextualize them and begin to understand that there are certain issues that are just natural with political parties. There are certain issues that just happen so long as you're a political party. And that we've seen that political parties in Ghana, especially the two dominant ones, have gone through this and they've made them stronger and better. That if there are people who don't understand this, unless we do this education, they will not comprehend this. I start with the NDC in 1998. Jerry John Rawlings was leaving the scene. The biggest problem was who to succeed Jerry John Rawlings. There were people in the NDC. The front runner, the person they were projecting was a gentleman called Augustus Guzitano to replace Jerry John Rawlings. Do you know what happened? Jerry John Rawlings did him
the Swedru declaration.
At Swedru, Jerry John Rawlings held the hand of Atta Mills to say that this is my son in whom I'm more favored. This guy should lead the NDC. It won't happen. Do you know what happened to the NDC? It split. Guzitano left and went and formed his own reform party, took the people with him. Later on, the NDC went through the same thing again. What's the name? Obeda Samoa, Faustina Nelson, and others also left, went and formed their own political party. Nana Konodo Ajima Rawlings, whose husband formed the NDC, left and formed the party. The NDC endured. This is the only political party so far in the Fourth Republic that's integrated and formed its own party. The NDC did that. But no, the NDC stood steadfast, stood to their core. They withered all the storm. And by 2008, they rode back to power. By 2008, that same Professor Mills. Adversity comes to all political parties. Political parties, I said, are very vulnerable when they are going through transitions. That is the history of the NDC. That's what happens. And today, that Guzitano is one of the biggest, most senior advisors to the sitting president of Ghana. Today, some of the people in those political parties are occupying very powerful positions in the NDC. That's what history has told us. Political parties go through a lot. And nobody rise up a political party just because they are going through turmoil. Do you understand that? Two, then we come to the NPP. A similar thing happened. But what became known as the Sunyani earthquake. That was where JF4 and Akufo-Addo met to select who leads the party. That was where Akufo-Addo gave one of the best speeches of political life. It was this woman from Cape Coast, I always forget her name, who introduced Akufo-Addo. That was the best speech she also gave. Akufo-Addo lost that election. But Akufo-Addo did something. He stood by the party. He stood committed to the party. And he campaigned with J. Akufo, and NPP won the elections. He remained with the party, and he remained as the heir apparent. All the way until 2007. Something happened. The NPP went for a congress at the University of Ghana, Legon. Akufo-Addo and Alan Chamanten were the two leading candidates. Alan lost that election. You know what he did? He resigned. For the first time in the history of the NPP, a leading member of the party who lost a primary, delegates humbled you, he resigned. I want you to understand the chronology. He resigned. The NPP went ahead to lose that election and stayed in opposition and lost back-to-back elections for almost 8 years. I want you to understand. Then something happened. In that period, the NPP went ahead to suspend their national chairman, went ahead to suspend their general secretary, went ahead to suspend another leading member of the party while they were in opposition. They went through all this turmoil. But again, the party came back roaring. In 2016, they won. In 2020, they won back-to-back elections. Then something happened again after that. The same Alan Chamanten came back to the party. And then something else happened. He went again to contest for presidency. Once again, delegates humbled him. Once again, delegates rejected him. And you know what he did again? For the second time, he quit the party. Honorable Alan Chamanten is the biggest disruptor, he's the biggest quitter, and he's the most indisciplined person in the history of the NPP. He's the one who has resigned twice and come back. And now he's resigned. So if you want to see the most indisciplined person in the NPP, in the history of the NPP, starting from history, he is the man who has shown that whenever delegates reject him, he will resign. He goes to delegates and says, if you don't vote for me, I'll resign, and he has done that. That's the history that has come. And now the NPP has lost elections. So if you look at our history, if you just do the analysis, political parties have gone through a lot. in their formation, in their restructuring, but they always find a way to stay true to their core. It happened to the NDC, to their in power. It happened to the NPP, today they are in opposition. We've seen this. So there's nothing new, there's nothing strange about this. Today, again, we are seeing the moment the succession plans in the NDC is about to start. We've seen what is happening in the NDC. It's too early. A member of parliament of the NDC had cause to complain. What are you coming to thank us for? The China Pakakunz, what are you coming to tell us for? We have no appointments. We have no development. What are you coming to? What happened? He was summoned to the National Inquiry into Tishad. When Honorable, when Asiedu Nketia said he was going to his thing, we saw Ras Mubarak issued a statement condemning that. My point is that you will see more of this, not less. You will see more of this. They are natural with the terrain. They happen whenever there is a succession. They happen whenever you're living. Because see, is the price, what drives them is the price at stake. You know that today, if you are the NDC flag bearer, you've got 50% of the votes, you leave only one to be president. You know that today, if you are the NPP flag bearer, you've got 50% of the votes, you need one. The price makes that. And it's about power. People, alliances change. People feel, okay, you know what? If I'm with this person and the person win, I'll get this. If I'm with this person. So you don't, it's not the best to sit down and when you see a political party going through turmoil like this one, to write them off. Because history has told us that. That in and of itself is not sufficient to lead the party.
Yeah, but should the history not be the more reason why the party is careful about how it goes about the rebuilding process?
Exactly. That was, and you've seen that there are changes. For instance, the NPP has realized that because of that history, let's have our primaries to elect our flag bearer early and do this. That was informed by the history. Again, the same history has told the NDC. That's what the NDC has officially written. Members has officially written or commented or complained. And they've told, and some have even warned Musa Dankwa to stop polling the early primaries. I've also said that nobody has declared to run. Why are you polling us? Both parties are learning from history. They are saying that, look, if you continue with this polling you are doing, Musa Dankwa, it's going to create a disruption for us. We are just 10 months into government. We have a lot to do. If you start this polling right now, it will disrupt our front. So that is a party being proactive and saying that Musa Dankwa, stop polling us. Don't poll us at all. He fired back today by saying, hey, I've been polling the NPP for so long, they've never told us directly to stop. We do that. It's the same thing that
That's a comment by a former government.
Agreed, I understand.
I mean, I don't think it's
I'm saying
fair
that
to necessarily
it is the same.
associate with
It is
the
the same thing that has allowed the NDC to summon a member of parliament saying, Master, stop, don't criticize the party, don't criticize us because we are yet to go there. My point is that, and you've seen, again, the General Secretary of the NPP has come out to give a very honest assessment. For me personally, I think he was being honest. To say that, look, because anything other than that, he would have been dishonest. Anything other than that would have been deceitful. Anything other than that would have been a lie. To come out and say that the party is going through difficult situation, because sometimes when you have a problem, acknowledging that you have a problem, understanding you have a problem, and working towards it is the best way to solve it. So he coming out to say that, yes, we are in the difficult times. Yes, we are challenges. But also, those challenges are surmountable. I think that's the best way. So, for people worrying, it tells you then that the head of the NPP, or the heads of the NPP, are not just being merely farcical. No, they understand they have a problem. They understand that the party is going through a difficult time. And they understand that the only way to do it is to keep going and keep working hard.
I mean, the rebuilding process, the national chairman for Ashanti region will be important to it. The Buno chairman will be important to it. The general secretary will also be important. Does that not lend credence to the fact that the best way to determine the wind of change would have been start from the lower level, let everyone see how the wind is blowing?
I don't understand when you start from which level. What is the lower level?
So polling station elections, executives.
Look, you made something. There's something in the literature called resilience. Resilient organizations are organizations that are able to adapt. Not just adopt, but adapt to change. Adopt to change. And resilient organizations are organizations that are able to come up with creative solutions to what they have. The NPPs have seen the field. And I'm telling you, they've learned from history, they've learned from the NDC, and they've learned from their own history. And the National Executive of the Union has said that in their wisdom and backed by history, this is the best way to go.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying is resilience. To be resilient means you must be able to adapt and change. To be resilient means that you must find a way to make sure that you correct the problems you're doing. So maybe the old way, and I've heard people say top down and bottom down. Or the best is to say the old way and the new way. The old way may be in the wisdom of the NPP will not serve them any good. And if it will not serve you good, why continue it?
Okay.